My name is Nagam Khalil. I am 25 years old and I'm Lebanese. I am not religious. I was born and raised in Bekaa in a small village called Ain. Currently, I reside in Beirut, near Hamra. I work as a researcher in the cultural heritage and development field. I work with the American University of Beirut. Okay, basically, I work in a private studio of portraits and family portraits, stuff like that, which is not something I really like, but it's also kind of photography. And I like the fact that I learned how to use indoor shootings and indoor lights. However, if for me, it's better to go in the street and practice the street photography, the freestyle photography. Usually when someone foreigner comes to the country or to the city to visit for the first time, they just see the luxurious part of Beirut, the nightlife, the good food, the nice streets, the museums, stuff like that. But if someone asked me, I would like to also show him the reality of Beirut and the different part and how we are dividing the city for religion and sect, for example, and how you can be in a part of Beirut that's super open-minded, then you go to another one that's super extremely conservative. If it's like just the weekdays after work, just a couple of hours going out. And when, it's the weekend, I want to go out, we usually go, to have some nightlife, to sometimes to sing, to drink, to have fun, to escape what we had during the week. And yeah, basically, I really think that anyone could, in this country could have better opportunities than the other because of some privileges. For example, I had the privilege to be raised in a house that is financially good. I was able to go to good universities and good schools, and I didn't have to think about as a kid about responsibilities. And I started working since I was 21, and when I decided after to do my master's degree, I decided to not get any help from my parents. However, I did sometimes. But I decided to pay my own tuition and my own stuff, my own rent. And if I ever failed, I can go back to my parents. I believe that not all of the people have this kind of opportunity. Okay, so let me first start with the history of Lebanon. So we are a multicultural country. A lot of people across this country, great empires, great cultures, also prophets and a lot of stuff. I remember the first time I came here, it was not with my parents actually, it was on a school trip with my school, and I used to read a lot about the Baalbek ruins. You can see there the 6 famous columns of the temple. And it was basically built by Romans, but before Romans, they were Greek, they were also Phoenicians. The people who started building in this area, in Baalbek, it was the Phoenicians, then some Greek, and finally what you can see mostly here is Romans. However, you can find some sites still belonging to Phoenicians, And I guess this is a very nice place. It's very multicultural and it's so nice, especially now with the snow. I really love the city here in Beirut, But from time to time, I like to go to the village, to my village in Bekaa. It's a rural village and it's a bit far. It's so quiet, a lot of nature. So from time to time, even though I love Beirut so much, but I'd like to go to run away from the chaos and the traffic and the people. And I like that I have a lot of memories in my village. So I guess the first place that I like to run away to, it would be my village. Currently, Lebanon is in the middle of not just an economic crisis, but also a political one. The political system in Lebanon works upon religion.
Bon, il faudrait des heures pour comprendre les subtilités des fonctionnements politiques et religieux au pays du Cèdre. Mais pour récapituler, l'enjeu est de répartir proportionnellement les postes politiques en fonction du poids des différentes confessions religieuses. Le pacte libanais est signé en 1943. Il s'appuie sur l'article 24 de la Constitution qui précise que les sièges parlementaires seront répartis à égalité entre chrétiens et musulmans de façon proportionnelle entre les communautés de chacune des deux catégories et proportionnellement entre régions. C'est ce qu'on appelle le confessionnalisme. Depuis, ce pacte est respecté. Le président est toujours chrétien maronite, le premier ministre musulman sunnite, le président de la Chambre des députés musulman chiite et son vice-président chrétien orthodoxe. Mais ce pacte n'a aucune valeur juridique et il semble souffrir d'une corruption structurelle. Selon une enquête du Monde, sur les 10 premiers partis politiques présents à l'Assemblée législative en 2018, 4 sont dirigés par le fils ou le petit-fils d'un membre fondateur. Même constat à l'Assemblée nationale, qui comprend 128 députés élus pour 4 ans. Au moins 22% ont un lien de parenté avec un ancien président, un ancien ministre ou un ancien député. Malgré les guerres opposant tour à tour les communautés, ce système confessionnel est toujours en place après presque un siècle d'existence.
If I were president one day, which is not possible, I would like first to kind of start off fixing the system because I would like to be sustainable after I leave and someone else come. The first thing I do is to separate religion from politics. We have a lot of stuff, for example, how many MPs for each religion and each sect in the parliament, also in the governments, like the minister of something should be something, and how many places each religion or sect has. And also it applies on the same thing, for example, on the judge and the teachers and everything.
صار معك شيء
بس أهم شيء
تطورات؟
نجحت هي كانت عن جد مثل الصدمة إنه ما توقعت.
كم سنة إليك أصلاً بتساعدي له إنه أنت كأنك عم تشتغلي؟
كان له 3 سنين ناظرة بس كمان اللي بداية أكتر إنه أنا طلعت من المقابلة كتير مبسوطة. المقابلة وقت ترشحت على الإدارة كنت كتير مرتاحة. وحتى يعني أنا وصلني أخبار إنه كتير عملت منيح يعني عرفتي؟
ومعك شهادات ومعك دار معلمين؟
هي مو مع إجازة يعني ما بعرف كيف.
هذا الوسايط والبلد يعني شو؟
عن جد شيء بيقهر شو؟
إيه بس بتتفاجئي يعني إنه
هلا أنا مقهورة على الأولاد إنه أنت كيف بدك تقولي ابنك إنه كفي جامعة واشتغل بهذا البلد وعلى الكفاءة وبالآخر أمهم قدامهم يعني خلص قالوا لها باي بس لأنه شو؟ إنه ما عندها واسطة.
Youth, it's one of the most important part of the Lebanese people, the situation in Lebanon is getting worse and worse and worse. And a lot of young people, they feel that they don't have a future here anymore. So anyone prefer to go build a future somewhere. I'm not sure if they're going to come back, but yeah, we all have this mentality that if we're not leaving right now, we're going to leave at some point in the future because it's getting so stressful to live here. But right now I got an acceptance to work with the UNESCO and World Heritage Foundation and very big names in Italy. So I decided to leave the country first because I feel a bit tired and the opportunity is amazing. So I'm leaving soon. I would like to come back, but not before it gets a bit better.
My name is Christian Allah. I am 24 years old. I am Lebanese. I was born in Fallujah and I am a Christian. I work as a sales associate in Decathlon in Le Mall Dubai, and I live in Dubai as well. I'm an only child, so as for family, it's just me, my mom and my dad at home. I would say we have an okay relationship. It's not the best and it's not as good as it could be, but there is a huge generational gap between us that leads to a lot of misunderstanding. We're trying our best to survive any way we could. My childhood was spent in Nigeria because that's where my father used to work. Now we're here. My parents are both unemployed. My dad is 83. My mother is 79. They can't work. I'm the sole source of income. We have family abroad in Australia that do try to support us as much as possible. So that's a bit of a burden off of my shoulders, and I'm grateful that when you guys came over and I was talking about discipline, that was something I was implementing in my life very recently, not too long ago. That was in order to bring whatever stability I could in whatever way I could, knowing I can't have financial stability. I can't have job stability, income stability. At least I would have this source of stability that could keep me sane, not going insane. I didn't choose my religion, which is Christianity. I was born into it. My parents are both very devout Christians. My house is the equivalent of a church. I read holy books from all types of religions you can think of. At the end of the day, I just decided to stick with one that I felt like I was able to implement the best of in my life. When I was a child, I used to skateboard a lot. Now I work in a sports store, Decathlon, and I'm responsible for the skating section. I also give skating sessions as a side job to my job because you need to find money wherever you can find it, you know. Generally, it would range between, let's say, $200, $300. It's good to have your salary in dollars because at least, you know, whatever happens to the Lebanese currency, you get that amount of worth in dollars. But my salary is not in dollars. My salary is in Lebanese. I was approximating it to the average of what it would be in dollars.
Deux devises qui circulent dans un seul et même État. Étrange, non ? D'abord, il faut savoir que la guerre civile et les choix en matière de politique publique ont largement endetté le Liban. Dans ce contexte, le gouvernement fixe un taux officiel à 1507 livres libanaises pour $1 en décembre 1997. Le choix se porte sur le billet vert puisque le dollar est la monnaie d'achat d'hydrocarbures par excellence et que le Liban dépend fortement du pétrole pour produire son électricité. L'un des principaux avantages consiste à stabiliser le taux de change afin d'encourager l'afflux de capitaux étrangers. Au Liban, il faut savoir que le fort déficit de la balance commerciale est possible grâce aux apports de la diaspora libanaise. En 2019, la Banque du Liban est dans l'incapacité d'injecter suffisamment de dollars sur le marché. la valeur de la devise nationale dépasse la barre des 80 000 livres libanaises sur le marché parallèle dit black market. L'inflation, c'est-à-dire une perte de pouvoir d'achat qui se traduit par une augmentation générale et durable des prix, pousse les citoyens à vouloir récupérer leurs épargnes sur leur compte bancaire. En vain. Subissant une crise politique et économique, les banques n'ont plus de liquidités et restreignent les retraits, surtout en dollars. Or, la livre libanaise continue de se dévaluer. Alors que le gouvernement libanais est impliqué dans des accusations de corruption massive, l'État a accumulé plus de 90 milliards de dollars de dettes qu'il n'est plus en mesure de rembourser et qui, à son tour, a affecté la liquidité des banques. Le 1er février, le taux officiel resté inchangé depuis 1997 à 1507 livres libanaises est passé à 15 000 livres libanaises pour $1, créant une dévalorisation. La vie quotidienne des Libanais est directement impactée par cette organisation politique et économique opaque et contestée.
I think everything that's happened has influenced people in two ways about money. Some people became crazy about it, they save it, they don't want to spend it no matter what, they try to avoid spending it at any cost, and that's understandable. And other people just lost all value for money. I have a lot of examples of things that have changed around me because that's everything, from gas prices to food prices, electricity, clothing, everything has changed. Nothing is the same as it was before. Electricity. Well, we're gonna forget what that means very soon because we don't have much of it. Get 1 hour, maybe 2 hours a day, unless you have your own private methods of getting electricity. In the past, electricity was split into two parts. One of them was government electricity, and the other one was private company electricity. You would get 6 hours of government electricity a day and pay a stable fee for the electricity you get. And the private sector, you would pay a subscription to somebody who owns generators and gives out electricity to specific neighborhoods. So there was many of them all around the country. In the past, I dreamt of staying in my country and like building a future for myself, starting a family, raising my kids. But I don't really see that as a viable option recently. So I was talking to my wife and we decided we would try to find somewhere mutual for both of us where we can stay.
Randomly one day I decided to check who I could chat with, and this time I saw a name in new letters. I was like, interesting. Let me see that. I clicked on the profile. Looks Asian. Different name. Let me see what's up with that. So we started talking and I was like what's up with that? Like, how come? She told me that she's actually Kazakh and she's living in Russia. And she was trying to learn Japanese as well, online. And we happened to match together while I was in Lebanon and she was in Russia. But we were both in Japan on this application. So it was all by chance that I decided to look through my chats and I saw something different than the rest. And we started talking. We kept talking, we really clicked together. We just started discovering Turkey together, and yeah, I guess that's it. That's our first meeting, it was in Turkey. I remember that. And now hopefully, if everything goes well, I'm going to Kazakhstan, see her again, and to introduce myself to her family. I'm gonna sell a few pieces of gold I have so I can pay for my ticket to see my wife. Let me just check something really quick before we go.
For what?
I'm traveling. I don't have money for the expenses. I need to see my wife and her family. I kinda need to. My salary wasn't as expected. It was way
Do you have
lower.
to see him?
I do.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, then you can buy them for me now. We're going to the airport so I can travel to see my wife. I'm very,
very, very stressed and excited and happy and scared. I don't know everything. But I'm just super happy. It's been a long time. I miss her a lot.
بنصح أي حدا قبل ما يترك دراسته يفكر فيها، لأنه الدراسة كتير مهمة. أنا تركت دراستي وبلشت بالشغل، فبشوف حالي كتير فاشل بس تركت دراستي. يعني هلأ في كتير فرص متاحة على النت ما فيني بلش فيها لأني تارك دراستي وما بفهم بهالمواضيع. فبنصح أي حدا يكفي دراسته وبعدين يفكر شو بده يشتغل.
Particulièrement pour la jeunesse au Liban, s'ils peuvent partir, qu'ils partent. C'est vraiment mieux pour eux.
Regardless if they come from a country where you have a lot of rights and a good comfort zone, and even if they come from, it's obvious for Lebanon because, you know, here there's no big future and no big plans. And even though I'd like to, you know, deliver a message to all the young people out there to not get stuck in your comfort zone and go explore the world.
I'm very, very, very sad about seeing my country as it is today. I do hope that Lebanon can get back up on its own 2 feet. It's a beautiful country, wonderful people, very friendly and hospitable generally. My message to the youth would be, don't let society dictate your thoughts and behavior. Think for yourself, develop yourself in a way that doesn't harm the people around you, and society itself will become a better place.